Welcome on the Aviation Cult YouTube channel. My name is JB and I am welcoming you on board of this flight from Düsseldorf to Frankfurt. We are heading today to Frankfurt because I've just received a copy of the Frankfurt scenery. I got it supplied by Aerosoft for free, so I would like to thank the guys over at Aerosoft, and so you can expect a full review of this brand new airport on Monday. So this video should be up by Sunday, so tomorrow you'll get a full written review with pictures and maybe some videos, but basically you now see the video. So I think you know the video, but if you want to see more pictures of the airport, do you want to hear my opinion on this airport, which is not biased, you can just read the article. So, we are today flying in the CRJ200, and yeah, we're flying on with the Lufthansa livery. So, basically, this plane is very simple and very easy to fly. It is made by JRollon, by how's this guy Javier Rollon? Yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe. So, batteries are on, emergency lights are armed. Logo lights coming on, beacon and navigation lights are coming on, and we can start the APU right away. So we have opened the APU door and it's going to be open right now. So we can start the APU by now and just wait a second until it's going to be on. I almost forgot to open the matters for the weather here in Düsseldorf and in Frankfurt. The nice thing about the boxed version of the scenery is that you can basically collect all your ILS frequencies, because it's like in the handbook included. So that's a plus for me, so I don't have to look it up on the charts on the internet. So the approach is going to be very easy. So first thing, we're going to hide the yoke. And now the APU is on and running, stabilized. Yeah, basically, we're going to do the position initialization first. So, and I'm going to engage the yaw dampers already now, because I am going to forget it, because it's me. So IRS switches went to nav, so it can align now. So we go into status, position initialization. We are at Echo Delta Delta Lima. So we're going to copy that, put it in here. Perfect. So it's going to align now. We're going to Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. Yeah, and that's it. Very easy FMC, so it doesn't require a lot of training or skill. So, departure from Düsseldorf, going to fly the Col 3 Zulu departure. Okay, we have to do first the runway. I think it's 5 right. Yeah, correct. And execute that. Perfect. Then, because the flight is very short, should be around 40 minutes. We don't have a second waypoint. We are just going to fly straight to the star of Frankfurt. So we're flying a direct. So, and this should be the rollers approach. Okay, I haven't checked which runway, but I think we're going to 25 right or left. So we're going to fly the I think the Golf should be fine. Yes, we can fly the 25 left approach, and yeah, that should be fine. Okay, now we're going to the legs, and now we can delete the discontinuity and execute the flight plan. So it's perfectly fine. Now we're going to change here that we are going to see the flight plan. And one thing I always do is just to put the first waypoint as a direct in. So once you have taken off and put the autopilot in, but sometimes I have a bug that the plane is going back to the runway, like in the air, and it's going to do a circle to pass the waypoint, and this really annoys me, so just to let you know. Okay, now hydraulic pumps can go on. They are on now. This is still aligning, so we have some moments time, so we can put in the altimeter, which should be 1009 for Düsseldorf. Perfect. So that's fine. Yeah, we could do the rotate speed and the V1 and the V2 speed, but we don't need that actually. We're just going to rotate at 135, 136 knots, so that's completely fine. Okay, we can set basically now the autopilot up before we start to the pushback. So basically what we are going to do is activate navigation mode. Our cruising altitude today is going to be, I think, flight level 170. So 170 should be correct if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's correct. I just started up my fly virtual ACAS, so that's done. Now we going, we have the altitude and the vertical speed, which is going to be on after takeoff. So we can put it to 2.6 basically. Should be fine for takeoff. Other things we don't need right now. So we can start or plan the pushback right now. So we're going to better pushback, and this time we're going to push in the right direction. We're going here. That's fine.
Der Plan ist eingereicht. Bitte rufen Sie mich über das Menü, wenn Sie bereit sind.
So we can call him now. And
Bodenanbrücke. Der Schlepper bringt sich in Position.
If you have any questions about this flight today, don't hesitate to ask myself or another flight attendant.
So isolation valve and the bleed air is opened, so we can start the engine as soon as the pushback begins. Now we can put in already the ILS frequencies. So we're going to land 25 left. Oh, it's already on because I did the flight yesterday. So this this frequency for nav1 is already correct, 111.15, and the course could be correct too, 247. The right one is 248. Okay.
Alle Türen und Luken sind verschlossen. Wir sind bereit, den Schlepper zu verbinden.
Okay, perfect. So that's it for my pre-flight checks and my planning. So everything should be right, if I'm not
Seilwinde
wrong.
und Adapter sind festgemacht. Lösen Sie die Parkbremse, wenn Sie bereit sind.
Parking brake is off. So we should start push very soon. We can already start up the ignition. Okay, it's just a little push car, so it always takes a bit of time. But now...
Wir beginnen mit dem Pushback. Die Triebwerke sind frei zum Anlassen.
So, we're starting right engine number 2 right now. You have to wait until it reaches around 20-25, so we can start up engine 2. Engine 2 is going on. So, positive start for engine number 2. Number 1 is going to come on as well. So we are going to wait as well right now. If you put in the fuel too early, you can have an engine fire. I had this already a couple of times, so I learned it the hard way. I had to Google the solution, because it wasn't that obvious. So just to let you know. So flaps are going down now also. I just wanted to notify you, this plane has no auto brakes. So this was a change for me after coming onto this plane after the Boeing and the Airbus A320. So both engines are on and running, so we can switch the generators to one on. APU gen off. Ignition off. APU is coming off. Perfect. Now I'm going to check the temperature for Düsseldorf. We have 2 degrees, so anti-ice has to come on for the engine. Yes, should be fine. Dome light is coming on. Overhead light is coming
Der
also on.
Push-Vorgang ist abgeschlossen. Bitte setzen Sie die Parkbremse.
Parking brake is set.
Schlepper wird getrennt. Einen kleinen Moment bitte.
And where is my lighting here? Here it is. To just put it onto full. So it's going to be warm. I already said warm. It's going to be bright in here because it's going to be a bit cold after takeoff. This is the cabin. You can see the strobe light there. Okay, so taxi lights coming on. Taxi lights are on. Going to switch the view to outside until we are disconnected fully. Perfect.
Der Schlepper wurde entfernt. Der Bypasspin ist gezogen. Freizeichen gibt's von der rechten Seite. Einen angenehmen Flug. Tschüss.
So once we see the pushback truck pass on the right side, we can start our taxi. Parking brake is off by now, and we can start our taxi to the runway. I think everything is set up right and we shouldn't have any problems.
If I can get everyone's attention, we will now review safety information regarding the flight today.
I don't know why my sim is struggling at the moment so much. It's very, very weird for me right now. Now we are going to taxi to the left, so we can enter the runway. This is, by the way, the Düsseldorf scenery you can pick up at the XPlane store. I don't know the name, but it's pretty good actually. I really like it. They really did a great job doing this airport, and I got it on sale for just like 12-15 bucks, so I just got a really good price for it. So taxi lights off, landing lights on, strobe lights are on, hydraulics, everything's set. We forgot the passenger seatbelt sign, so that's not a big problem at all. So now we can take off, basically, once we entered the runway. So we are entering runway 35 right, going to
approaching 05 right.
Thank you, Express. I'm going to pop out these screens.
On runway 05 right.
So I just pop it out so I can see everything, because the cockpit is quite big, like it's very wide, so just to have a better view, and I can focus my view on the outside. So toga set. Why oh, that's crazy. I don't know why my airplane is doing this, but we can rotate now. Rotate. Positive rate gear is coming up. We are going to flaps, set flaps 1 position up.
You will find all safety information in a card located in the seat pocket in front of you.
Flaps on position 1 now.
Read it before we take off. If you have any questions, please ask myself or another crew member. We hope you enjoy your flight.
Flaps are now completely on position 0, and I'm going to turn on autopilot right now. Autopilot is on. Just one quick check. Okay, these are off, so that's fine. And by the way, this plane has not an auto throttle, so I'm going to have full control the whole flight over the throttle. I'm just going to check real quick the altitudes we need at different waypoints. So we basically just need to be above 15,000 once we reach LibMe, but then we can just cruise at 17,000 feet. But at least we need to be at 12,000 feet once we reach OSPO. Then it's just our approach there. So everything should be fine, so we can just take a quick look outside. Maybe we turn them off. Don't get distracted. What do you think about this Lufthansa livery for the regional jet? I think it's pretty sweet. Now climbing through the clouds. I think it looks good. It's not one of my favorite liveries actually, but it looks good, and it like shows the whole of Europe. We have a bit of Moscow, we have London, Berlin, Pisa. I guess it's going to be Greece, but I'm not sure. So Athens maybe. It's Rome, Paris, London again. And I actually that should be Cologne, but I'm not sure which country this is in. So let me know in the comments if you know it. Oh, we are back in the cockpit right now. We climbing now with the rate of 2.6 at around 230 knots. So we have still the target speed right now on 250, so we can just increase our throttle a little bit. So we just reach 250 knots until we are over 10,000 feet. Then we can turn off landing lights and yeah, increase our throttle input. So I think this climb out was quite good. I don't know why my this plane, like, I hate the wheel I have to dial in for my nose wheel. This already bothers me a bit, but like the rest of my equipment is pretty good. I really like it. So this is just the things I don't like, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with my whole setup. So we need to climb.
Gentlemen, you can now use electronic devices. As soon as we reach our cruising altitude, the flight attendants will be coming by with a drink.
So landing lights are off, seatbelt signs are okay. We basically can leave them in auto. Should be easier. Yeah, but nevertheless, like I'm usually pretty happy with my whole setup. I'm using like how much? I think it's 27-inch screen, and a second screen which is pretty basic and small. Should be like 18 to 20 inches. I'm just using
Altimeter setting.
yeah. Okay, I forgot something. I'm using my second screen only for my A cars or my smart cars, how the program is called, so I can track my flight. And the program's tracking my flight actually, so all the data are going to Fly Virtual. And then I use it for my meta, so I know the weather on the airport I approach and the pressurization there. And of course for my sim brief, my recordings, this is what my second monitor is used for. So, now you know everything about my setup. I'm using like my fly stick and my throttle is made by Cytec, and it is the X56 Rhino, I think it's called. It's pretty good. I'm really convinced by Cytec. The products, they are pretty good. And I think the sky with the sun and a bit of the moon looks pretty good. We have to. It was one of the better days today in Germany for the winter season now, so it's pretty nice actually. So I think it's a great day for flying. I basically wanted to fly yesterday. Today's Friday. Yesterday was the day with the whole storm situation going on. And yeah, I wanted to fly to Amsterdam, so we would have a stormy departure and a very stormy approach in Amsterdam. But I had so much to do and I haven't even had the time to do it. But next time a big storm is going to come up, I'm going to do the flight, because I want to do something like a Storm Hunter series, so I can fly basically everywhere where storms are going on. So this is like basically, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We would do stuff like this. So I think this is definitely on my list. What else I wanted to say? Basically, you now saw my 3 airplanes I'm using currently in my fleet for my flight simming. One's the Zebomode. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. What's wrong with me? The Zebomod 737, then the JAR Design A320, and now the CRJ200 by JRollon. So basically my 3 favorite planes right now, and the planes that I'm going to fly. But I definitely, and this is for sure, I'm going to add an heavy to my hangar, because I think we can't continue without a heavy in the hangar. So unless the Aerobridge 777 is going to is going to be released like in mid-February, I definitely have to buy something. The Aerobridge 777 is going to be released for free, so I'm really looking out for this one. But it's going to have the standard FMC from XPlane, so this kind of it's a big minus point. But I want to fly the damned 777. It's just an amazing plane, and I think I'm going to grab a copy once it is finally released. And I think once it's out, we're going to do some test flights together and have just a lot of fun with the aircraft. Yeah, and I don't know if you know it, there was a guy called Magnite who did the Dreamliner, a second version, because we already had one. The I don't know the developers, but it's not a good one. And Magnite also did one, and it uses also the standard FMC, but the fuselage and the outside model of this airplane is so beautiful. So as I saw this for the first time, I wanted to buy it, but then I tested the beta, which was of course the beta, it was for free, was not optimized for XPlane 11, but the cockpit scared me, because it couldn't match the look from the outside of the outside model. So I'm not going to buy it, but this plane the exterior model was great. If we would just get a good developer who's going to do a good version of the A350, or if Flight Factor would fix the A350, or a good 787 Dreamliner, it would be fantastic. It's like the planes I wanted to see the most right now on XPlane. And also the MD-11, which is going to be out, done by Rotate. But I'm still waiting for a release date. But I don't think it's going to come. Okay, they haven't said anything regarding the release date, but I don't like. Maybe it's scheduled for this year, but if it's scheduled, I also think it's not going to come out this year, because it's such an ambitious program or project. Better, I should say that it's. I really don't think it's going to come out this year. I'm just checking the. I'm just checking my second screen for information. If there are any information, but there are not. So we are now at 17,000 feet, and we need to be 12,000 here, so we can start our descent now to 11,000 feet. Pull back a bit on the throttle here, so we don't have overspeed. And now we can put in vertical speed again and just put in to 2.2. That should be fine. So we are starting our descent right now after a flight time of 11 minutes. So in comparison to my other videos, it's just a short little hop we're doing here right now. But I think sometimes we can do short hops, but I prefer like the 1 hour flights, max of 2 hours. I think this flight is a nice road, but it's way too short. I think Amsterdam to Düsseldorf is also very short. It's a bit better, but now the approach will take quite long actually, because we're going to fly in, then we're going to do a turn, then we're going to land into Frankfurt. It will take a bit of time, so it's not too bad, but I prefer the more direct approaches. If you want to see a tutorial flight with this aircraft, I will do one, I think. It's going to start my excuse me. It's going to start my my tutorial liner. We're going to do tutorials for the Zebo mode, I think too, and for the Airbus A320. But I think we're going to start up with this plane because it's very simple, it is very cheap in comparison to other aircraft. And so I think if you are a newbie, or just call it so, newbie on XPlane, I think it would be a good decision to grab the CRJ up first, because then you will have a good learning curve which is not too hard. You basically also could start with the Airbus A320, but this plane requires a lot more learning with the FMC, and the startup is way longer, so this could discourage you. I'm myself started with the A320 like, I think it's now almost a year ago when I switched to XPlane, but before I had like 1 or 2 years experience of FSX, so I think you can't really compare that. But when you're going to fly your first time on a flight sim, you should grab up something which requires definitely skill, because you want to learn something, but you should grab something also up which is not too hard, so you can learn it like more easily, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting an airplane which you can't really fly. You spend money for it, so this would be a pain in the butt. But honestly, if you want to start up, the CRJ or the Airbus should be a great solution. Or if you don't want to spend more money into XPlane, which I honestly really understand, because XPlane isn't cheap, it's $60, and you don't want to spend more money into it, you should go with the Zebo mod, which is for free and it's basically great. So Zebo mod is like, basically the Zebo mod is my always go-to aircraft. It's free, it's good, it flies good, has good flight dynamics, a good FMC, It doesn't have a cabin you could walk through, but like honestly, the cabin, like, it's not modeled badly, but like, who is going to do the cabin view? Like, honestly, the only cool thing you can do, you can go to the wing, enjoy the wing view, which is basically pretty cool. I really like the wing view, but you don't need that. So the Zebra mod, you could switch, like you can do something on the game files, so you can have the wing view, but I haven't done it myself. But it's not very hard, so everybody should be able to do it. So we're going to descend further down to 10,000 feet right now. And then we have to be above 9,000 feet at the waypoint DF601, or Delta Foxtrot 601. So, vertical speed of 04, we can just leave it like this for just a second. I hoped we will have a look on Frankfurt Airport from above, but I think we're going to climb through clouds. Okay, I just got the master caution warning, so what is wrong? Do we have anything wrong? Oh, ice, yeah. Oh, we have the anti-ice on. So the wing anti-ice is on now. So for real world pilots, this is really important. Like, you only use anti-ice on the wing when you really have ice detected. Otherwise, it could increase the danger of icing behind the wing, like on the edges of the wing. So this is something you have only to turn on once you get the ice notification. But the engine anti-ice, it can run basically all the time. So, and just something to let the beginner pilots know. Read a lot about this on forums, but I don't think ice is going to... I've never tried it, but I don't think ice is going to cause any damage on your flight sim. Maybe we should do once a test flight with no anti-ice and see if something happens. Could be interesting. Well, we are now at 10,000 feet. We are already below 250 knots, so this is perfect. So, we can just continue our descent now down to 9,000 feet. We need to be above, so now 9,200 feet. I think the rate of descent should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. So, landing lights are on. We are reducing throttle a little bit. It's very cloudy. So once, yeah, okay, our speed is stable. We can just increase a bit our rate of descent. Reduce throttle a little bit. Now we can just have a look outside. So here you can see the Aerosoft Frankfurt scenery, and we're going to land on the left runway, which is basically now the right runway. So back into the cabin.
10,000 feet.
So now we just reached 10,000 feet. So basically now we officially have to turn on the landing lights. And we have our co-pilot. I haven't introduced you to him now. We can just fly without him, but I like him, so we're going to leave him inside the cockpit. His name is Rajit, I think. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm talking again bullshit, so I think we should concentrate a bit more on our approach right now. So basically we're flying in the approach pattern. If you wonder how these patterns work and the whole approach things, you can have a look on the airport charts. You can find them online when you just put in the ICAO code of your airport and then just the word charts behind it. So when you want to find charts for Frankfurt, you can just type in Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot and then charts, and you will find them. Probably on Jepsen or something like this. They have really good charts, and you can just have a look. Then you will see the ILS frequency and the course you need to have for your ILS approach. I think we're going to do the ILS approach. It's very cloudy. We could do the visual. I think I'm going to do the ILS until 2000 or 1500 feet as always. Then we're going to descend further down visually. And I think the throttle control and the speed management on this plane is pretty easy. So we are flying now with the whole flight without speed brakes. So we with the spoilers. So we can arm them now. So spoilers are armed. So once we touch down, the spoilers are going to retract and yeah, they're going to brake for us and or assist us once we hit the brakes. Okay, we now have to descend further down to 8,000 feet. So 8,100 because we have to be, of course, below. We don't want to climb, we want to descend. Thank you. And once we reached... What is that? Is it like... I have no idea. But once we have reached 8,000 feet and the waypoint, we're going to retract flaps to position 1. I have like a very I have like pain in my throat, so I have to drink sometimes because it's very dry. I have like a very dry throat, so excuse me for that. But it also prevents me to speak more. So now we can... Everything is stabilized, so we don't have to do basically anything right now. We can just have another look outside. Maybe we will see the airport from here. Yeah, we already passed the airport. Well, let's just give me a second. Yeah, you won't see it right now, I think. But it's not too bad. You can just enjoy the regular scenery from here. Just have a look on this outside look on the livery. Okay, I'm going to have just a little look for the matters for Frankfurt. So we need we know what we have to dial in, and it's 1011. So once we reach 5,000 feet here in Germany, we have to dial in the 1011 for the pressurization here. And above 5,000 feet, you will use the standard barrow, which is 1013.1, and it's used all over the globe. But I don't know what they use in North Korea. Maybe they have an exception. I don't know. But we definitely need to fly into North Korea. Okay, once we have reached the checkpoint, we are flying in the waypoint we fly in right now. We can descend further to 4,000 feet. So I'm going to set up 4,000 feet as my next set altitude, or we're going a bit more below, so we can catch the glide slope. So as I mentioned already, I had sometimes already glide slope problems with other planes, and I don't want to to I don't want these problems again, so just going to leave it with 300 feet below. Everything should be right, and we just could intercept the glide slope. Okay, we now reached our waypoint Delta Foxtrot 610, so we can increase our rate of descent now. And I'm climbing right now, so I'm sorry for that. This should be fine, and we're going to retract our flaps now to position 1. Flaps 1. Now, because the flaps reduced our drag, can increase throttle a little bit, because now we need more throttle to fly the same speed. And it's getting dark here in Frankfurt, Germany. And I'm basically not always not flying. I'm basically never flying real time, because well, if we would fly real time, we always would fly during the night or during the evening. We can do real time flights once it's summer, but now in the winter, I'm home after work at around 5 o'clock in the evening. And oh no, I finish work at 5 o'clock and I'm home at about like half past 5, something like this. And then it's already dark here, so we would always fly just in the dark. But I think the transition between the daylight and the nighttime, it's pretty good. It looks pretty good in XPlane, so I think we should do more flights in these conditions. And this looks like a bug, a graphical bug, but we descending still. Now we just passing flight level 60, and then we're going to do our turn on the final approach. Then we can dial in this little knob here for the navigation source. I think you saw me doing this during the takeoff, because I was a bit late. We're going to change it to nav 1, because then we can start our ILS approach. I've wondered if we can call the flight attendants on this cockpit, because you can do it on the Zibo mode. You have like a button for the flight attendants in the Boeing 737. Do we have the same here? Maybe it is, but I'm not sure. We can try it. Nope, nothing happens. Okay. Okay, we are descending way too fast. We can reduce the rate of descent right now and increase throttle a little bit. But because we are now very slow, we can retract flaps to position 2. Flaps 2. Now we need, of course, more speed or more thrust. So, once we reach not the next waypoint, the second one here, we're going to retract flaps to position 3, and we're going to retract the landing gear. So I just want to keep you in the loop. Just to reduce throttle a little bit, so we can put flaps to position 3. Now we're just below the cloud, so we have good visibility. We're just having quick view through the cockpit. I just wanted to say hi to my co-pilot. Now I am basically my co-pilot. That's very nice. I always wanted to be my co-pilot. And now it's getting weird, I think. So we just continue our normal operations here on board. So, landing config. Yeah, basically, we just need to retract our flaps to full later on and release our landing gear. So, this is the plan for our final approach. We are turning now left, and then we are on a final for Frankfurt for Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. And we already on, because there are some hills here, so we're going to have the callouts for 2500. It's just temporarily, because okay, you won't see it right now because I don't know what the game is doing here, but you see we have a bit terrain here, so we will have some altitude callouts, and they are going to change frequently by now. So we basically come into clouds which didn't exist before we took the turn, but that's fine. We're back out of the clouds, so weird, but it's a game, so doesn't matter. So at Letke we need to be at 4000 feet, which we are now. We're just going to be a bit further down on 370, on 3700. It's not far, 20 nautical miles to go. So we can put flaps to position 3 right now. Flaps 3. Flaps are retracted. Can give a bit more throttle input. And once we did the full turn, we can retract our landing gear. So we have a flight time of 32 minutes right now. We're going to land in around 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Yeah, a really short hop today. 40 minutes flight with a long, really with a long approach in comparison to the regular flight. We did like 18 minutes of flying, then we did another 15 of approaching. So the approach takes the most of this flight from Düsseldorf to Frankfurt. So now basically you see if we should go around, we're going to fly, then we are going to fly out with the runway heading, do a little left turn, then steep left turn until waypoint Charlie Hotel Alpha, then we're going back to Letke, then we're trying to do the approach again. But I have no plan. To do the approach again or to do a going around. So we did the turn. So landing gear is going down. So we have 3 green on the landing light. And once we reach Letke, I'm going to retract flaps to full. This is how our plane looks right now. Okay, we're doing something a bit different just for the view. Oh, this looks stunning. Lufthansa CRJ approaching into Frankfurt, into its home base. I think that's amazing. And it looks like we have sun here, and it looks so ugly. I don't know what the developers of XPlane thought as they created something like this. I don't know if it's just a bug in the weather generator. I don't know. So once we reach Letke, we're going to change our nav source to nav 1, and we are going to retract our flaps to full. Then our landing config should be completed, and we should be ready or cleared to land, even we don't have any kind of ATC. So we are flying right now with 160 knots. We have a landing speed of around 100, I think 28, 130, something like this. We shouldn't be much faster or slower. I think we can also change to nav 1 already, but I don't want to do it too early. So, if we don't want to be distracted by the sun, we also, god damn it, could also do this. But I think this really interferes with your field of view. Really annoying. I also don't like the overhead HUD. This airplane doesn't feature it. For example, in the Dreamliner you have it. I think in the sim it just interferes with your field of view. I really hate it. In the real life it could be or can be a great feature, I don't know, but in the sim I hate it. We're going to change to nav 1 right now. It's going to check if the course is right, 248. Because it looks, yeah, we are certainly a bit off. We have to put in nav again, so it's going to follow it. It definitely has the ILS frequency, so that's good. And the course is, of course, is 248. So we have the right one dialed in. So that's perfectly fine. So we can retract flaps full now. And now basically the thing what we are doing right now, we are waiting until we can intercept the glide slope. Just want to stabilize our airspeed right now. We can just have a view from outside now. Or wrong combination. So I think the plane looks great. If you go more into detail, it doesn't look too great, but from further away, like this, absolutely beautiful airplane with the lights on, pretty great. But because of this strange sun thing going on, we can't really see a lot of where we are flying, so it could basically interfere with my final approach to Frankfurt, or with my landing, but I hope we are going to be fine. Basically, we don't need this anymore. Going to reduce speed once we catch the glide slope. Right now we are fine in regards of airspeed. And the thing which is beeping all the time is the localizer. It really is annoying, but you can't really do anything about it. Okay, we can see the runway, or the runways. Runways are in sight. So, that's grand. And the lighting of XPlane is just phenomenal. They really did a good job on the scenery. We could even zoom in and see the original signs of the highway, of the autobahn. So this is like a scenery on a very high level, but you have to pay the price for it. It's around 30 euros, so it should be 35 bucks if I'm not mistaken. So it's like a high-end scenery for XPlane, but I think it features a lot and it looks very great. They used all the technologies XPlane offers and did the best. So I think it's fair to say the airport is great, the scenery is absolutely stunning, and you will see it once we have landed there. So I hope you're excited for the approach into Frankfurt. The wind looks calm. I'm just going to check the weather. Yeah, we have 5 knots of wind from south. Yeah. So we have like, I don't have exact numbers from where the wind is coming, but it shouldn't interfere or bother us too much. So Lufthansa is on final. If you have any improvements we can make on our videos, just let us know, because we really we really want to hear your feedback and improve our videos in regards of your feedback, because I think we can improve on a lot of things, and I'm always trying to do my best when it comes to videos. But I think if you want anything special, any special routes, or if you just don't like my sense of humor, just let me know. And now we have the low fuel warning, which is not bad at all. We have like where it is 900 pounds of fuel remaining, and we are on final, so everything is fine. We could basically do 1 or 2 go around. We could do like a go around, 2 go arounds, and a diversion should be fine. So if we would divert, we would, I think, what says my sim brief? We would go to ETAR. What is ETAR? Echo Tango Alpha Romeo. Never heard of this one. Okay, we can put in the press the approach button, so we can catch the localizer. Now I'll let you know what ETAR or Echo Tango Alpha Romeo is. It's an airport base. It's called the Ramstein Air Base. Okay, I don't know why I got this as an alternate. That's weird. I would prefer to go just back to Düsseldorf. Well, it doesn't matter too much. So, we are on final and now descending. So, I'm just going to check landing config for the last time. Flaps are full, landing gear is down. And the Airbus, I would say no blues, but we don't have any blues here. So, no blues. And we can land now into Frankfurt. Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. We're going to reduce throttle now, so we reach like 140 for our descent right now, or 130 should be fine for now. I just don't want to be too slow, just in case of shear winds or anything like this, but it should be fine. So we are now flying or descending with a speed of 137 nautical with knots, so 138 knots, so should be fine. Can reduce it a bit more. We have a really long runway here, so we can float a bit to try to do a smooth landing. But I don't want to ensure anything, because yesterday I was very distracted. I did the same road yesterday because I wanted to see the airport. It was my first flight into the Frankfurt Aerosoft scenery, and I really landed hard. So I'm going to be a bit more concentrated on today's approach. So we just hope for the best and do a good landing. And right now we got a bit of wind. So thing is going to make the whole landing a bit more exciting, and we are going to take over control now in every second. So, my plane. Oh, we can now just turn off the peeping things. Just get on my, it really gets on my nerve. So we're stable for the moment. We didn't do the barrow, of course not. Of course I forgot it. It's just me.
1,000.
Bit low. Want to gain a bit of altitude right now. Want to bank a bit to the left, so we can land on center line.
Approaching 25 left.
$500.
So 500 is checked. We're a bit too slow.
400.
Okay, now we have perfect altitude.
300.
Now we're going to fly over the Autobahn. And now we are... I have to shut up
200.
just to concentrate.
$100. 50. 40. 30.
Long landing. Long landing.
I know,
20.
everything is fine.
1,000 feet remaining.
This airplane is so easy to float. We'll land it. Reverses are out. 80 knots.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated.
Okay, reverses are in again. Now we can turn off landing lights, turn on taxi lights, and now we have to find basically our way to the terminal, because I have no idea where the terminal here is. I think we have to go to the right even? Is that correct? Yeah, we have to go to the right, not to the left. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of an let's call it an illegal move. We're just going to do a bit of... Okay, I don't think it's illegal. It's just not very nice looking. Yeah. So, we are now at Frankfurt. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We landed successfully in Frankfurt with a bit of with a real float on final. But it's not too bad actually, because the landing was around... Well, where is my lighting? It's just got really dark. We just got we just landed with a rate of 200 and with an I just searching for the APU button to start up the APU. We landed with 220 feet per minute, so this is very acceptable for the landing here.
Approaching 07 center.
Yes, we're going to cross 07 center right now. The APU door should be open by now. It is indeed. We're going to follow here. And we're going to start the APU up. So, in conclusion, we can say the landing was okay. Wasn't too bad. We floated it big time, but APU is on. But after the float, the landing was quite good. Like a regular landing, 220 feet per minute. And I think it's exactly the same rating as we got last time once we've been on the Boeing. So for me it is acceptable. But we now need to find a place to park our aircraft. I think you see that I have no idea where I'm going right now. Yeah, I think we already taxied a bit too far. But I think... oh no, okay, there is the terminal. Yes, there it is. So, perfect. What is this? Ah, it's boarding dining. I think it's the first class terminal at Frankfurt. I have no idea. I've really no idea. The question is still where we can park up this little CRJ. Really strange. I don't know if you hear the sounds here. I don't know, it's quite weird. Can we maybe just turn off? Maybe it's something interfering with the radio. I don't know. It's just really weird and it gets on my nerve. I feel like I'm crazy. We could park here. So, to reduce trust a little bit. Not that much. Okay, I think the taxi back to the terminal is the thing which is going to take us the longest from the whole flight. So, fair enough. We can stretch the flight with a long taxi, with a long arrival. So basically, we can make from a 30 minutes flight, we can just stretch it to 1 hour. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to taxi left and we are going to search for a parking spot. Think this might be here some stands for smaller planes? Is that correct? Yes, it is indeed. But where we have to go exactly, I have no clue. Looks like no, it's from the other side, I think. Yeah. Oh no! Oh, we chose we had to taxi a bit more left, so we did. And again a mistake while taxiing. God damn it! We never will reach our destination. Now, next turn we are going left. Then we should be finally able to park our airplane. I'm just going to brake a bit here for the turn. Not too much. I think it's hard to have any kind of feel into your brakings when you don't have any pedal to brake. And you just use the parking brake to brake. So, our turn to the left. We're going to left again, so we can park there. Next available position, we are going to park our aircraft. Should be behind this Air Iceland or Icelandic or how this thing is called. Iceland Air. Think here, yeah, finally. Finally reached our destination and we found a parking spot. So, busy airport, looks very nice, but the man here doesn't want to give us any kind of might be a bug. Or nope, he's not doing anything. Maybe it's not compatible with the CRJ200. Could be. Because we definitely overshoot any marks here. But we reached apron 129. So, APU is on. Generators are going off. We can turn off the engines right now. Both engines are off. Yeah, so basically that's it. Taxi lights coming off. Navigation can still be on. Yeah, that's it. And now we can finally go out of this aircraft and enjoy our day-to-day life again. Okay, I wanted to retract it a bit more so you can actually leave the aircraft. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, we reached our destination airport. You can now leave the airplane, and if you don't want to miss out on any more flight sim videos or any other aircraft related or aviation related videos, just make sure to like, subscribe to this channel, so we will see us again in the next video. We are going to take now or you will have a look on the landing, and I, for my part, I'm going to say bye now, and we will see us again in the next video. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye, bye bye, and farewell.
Ten.